Hey guys, what's up? So today we're talking about money. That's what we're talking about today. We're talking about money and how is it that money is now actually disappearing. That's right, guys. People are not even using this anymore. It's becoming useless. All of that coming back. Stay tuned. Welcome back, guys. How you guys doing out there? So today's topic is money and how money is becoming useless. That's right, guys. It's no longer seen as a big fat pocket of money in your wallet anymore. A lot of people right now are not walking with that much type of money anymore as they used to back in the 70s and the 60s and the early 80s, coming around into the 90s. You could have seen people where they have fat wallets, and you can see also crime being a little bit more up because robberies were a little bit higher. But nowadays, things have changed, and they have changed differently. A lot of it now comes differently. So let me explain that. So now, instead of actually using money to purchase things, so instead of using money, you would use something else, something like one of these things, a debit card, or if not, a credit card, or if not, something towards that way, something like a PayPal or something like maybe like a Cash App or something like that. But people are now using these things instead of actually using physical money, and people prefer it more than actual physical money. In places like Venezuela, where the economy is atrociously destroyed, people actually have to use some kind of a form like a debit card that they're using now to actually purchase things, because money is basically useless. You need a truckload, and when I say a truckload, I mean a truckload just to buy a hot dog, because the value is so just disgusting, guys. All right, so leaving there and then coming into Asia, well, Asia does the same thing as well. Asia, there's still, you see a lot of the old folks, they still like to play with cash and stuff like that, but the newer folks are moving into the idea of actually paying either with your phone, having all that information on your phone and paying with your phone and moving in that way. It's a big business, especially for consumers out there, and for companies that offer it to consumers, like Apple Pay. It's a big thing. Samsung Pay, it's another big thing. These people are getting into the business of actually going ahead and making your life a lot easier. So the credit card business is also getting into the business, as well as Visa Pay. You also have MasterCard Pay. These things are in the works, and if they're not already out in your location, trust me, they will be out soon enough. All right, but the idea of carrying money is becoming ancient. It's becoming prehistoric time. And with that, now you have, like I said, you have the more easier access. And with the more easier access, you have another problem, which is called debt. And let me explain that for you guys. All right, having money in your pocket actually stops you from actually buying a lot of stuff that you don't need. A lot of useless stuff that you basically don't need. But without that money in your pocket, you really don't see what's going on. So basically, you would just charge it to your debit card, or you charge it to your credit card, and that's basically what it is. You don't care, it's basically there and it's fine. You go ahead and you're pretty much good. But this is basically going for those guys that are using debit cards, because credit cards is another topic, but we're gonna stick to debit cards. Using a debit card to purchase stuff because you just basically don't wanna walk around with cash is a great idea. But it's also a bad idea for the sense that you just don't know how much money you're actually spending. And by you not actually keeping track of what's going on, a lot of people are actually going into overdraft fees. And the banks alone last year made a killing on overdraft fees. Such a big, huge impact that the banks did, that they actually collected $28.7 billion in overfee draft. Now that is a huge number, guys. That is a huge number. Having debit cards and paying with debit cards is becoming a norm. And with that norm, people are just not able to follow their budgets or keep up with their budgets. And it's destroying people. It's destroying a lot of families out there. And it's always good to always have physical cash in your pockets. No one is saying no to that. And it's also good to keep an emergency stash on the side just in case if you do fall on hard times. But walking around with your debit card and just charging everything on your debit card is just ridiculously dumb. If you're going shopping for, let's say, groceries and stuff like that, you're going to the supermarket and stuff like that, have a shopping list. Walk with a shopping list. Just don't go into a supermarket and start buying stuff, because 9 out of 10 times you don't remember what you have in your cupboards. You don't. You don't know what you have in your pantry. You're wondering, did I get this? Do I have this? I wonder if I need this. And you just buy useless stuff that you don't need. And then when you come home with your groceries and you see it, you're like, oh, darn it, I got 2 of these. Oh, well, no big deal. And that's basically how that goes. Certain things have expiration dates. So that's basically just throwing things in the garbage. So you're throwing your money away. So if you're going to be smart and you're going to be more, how can I put it, more intelligent on how to play with your money, walk with a shopping list when you're going to go ahead and do groceries. It's a better way of doing it. Also, it also will keep you in a budget to know that this is how much money you need to spend. So this way you don't overspend and you don't fall into that trap of the overdraft fees. Now, for a lot of other people, I would advise them that these people that are living paycheck to paychecks, get yourself an overdraft fee account protection plan. That will help you out just a little bit, but it doesn't mean that this becomes a super safety net for you to go ahead and abuse, because the banks are offering this protection for the simple reason that they know you're going to fall into it and they're just going to continue sucking you up. So do apply for it and do get it, but try to be more strategic on how is it that you're spending that money and why you're spending that money. Okay, if you know, and this is for the ladies out there, if you ladies know that you already have 30 pairs of shoes in your closet, okay, and there's a big function coming up and you just want to go ahead and you want to show off, you know, and you just need to get the latest dress, or you just need to look a certain way because you know what, that's just the way it is, and so and so, you're spending money for no reason. There's no reason why you should be shopping for another pair of shoes when you have 30 pairs already. And I know that doesn't sound like common sense to a lot of ladies out there, but in reality, you just continue to waste more money as you go along. And again, I guarantee, and I can guarantee this, there's not one lady in this planet that doesn't have a closet with stuff that still have tags on it. Brand new clothes with tags still on it because they haven't worn it yet. So it's just ridiculous on how you're wasting money and spending money for no reason. Try to be more conservative on how you spend your money. Also, at the same time, try to keep a budget running. I did a video on the budget stuff, and this way you guys know how to more or less keep yourself in track. Keeping control of your spending is very important. We are going into some bad times here, guys. In this year alone, 2019, we have already seen 27 retail companies closing their doors. That's 27 retail companies closing their doors. We're talking about companies like Payless. We're looking at right now, JCPenney is on a struggle. Toys R Us is gone. Gymboree is no longer there. We're looking at Family Dollar going out the door. There is so many companies that are closing their doors because basically they just can't stay afloat. And these are companies, guys, all right? And they can't stay afloat. So imagine you who just can't even make not even a quarter of what they make in a year's time. So think more positive and be more aggressive with your savings. Be more aggressive with how you manage your money. It's very important that you actually be aggressive with your money. The more aggressive you are with your money, the more you're going to be grateful at the end, because you're going to need it, especially when you're going to fall on hard times. All right. So What is it that we are seeing now for the market coming in? We see that the Fed cuts has been cut. So the Fed has cut the interest rate. What does that really mean for the market? Does that mean that the market is going to shoot up to God knows what? Let's look at it as shooting up to 30,000, 40,000, 50,000. Or does it mean this is bad luck for the market now, and the market deciding to go ahead and start to drop down? This is basically the Feds trying to protect the dollar. And this is the way the Feds feel that this is the best way of doing it, by actually bringing down interest rate. This is the first time that they have cut interest rates in 10 years. This is the first time they have done this. There's a reason why they're doing this. I also put a video up there where I talk about the recession. So there's a reason for all of this. Usually when we speak about recessions and stuff like that, when I call it out, it doesn't mean it's going to happen tomorrow. It's going to happen next week. Usually recession starts to show anywhere between 18 months to 24 months after that. So you're looking at a year and a half to 2 years from now, basically somewhere around where the elections are coming in for 2020, we can start seeing where the economy starts to really weaken down and everything else. That's not to also to count for the tariff that's going on, which again hits your pockets, because as long as there's pressure on the tariff, you're going to pay more at the cashier register. So you have to be aggressive on how you save your money, guys. All right. So again, guys, don't forget, more gains, more gains, more gains. Giving it your peace out.